Hi, my name is Elizabeth Foster. I'm the founder of Connect Coach, and at Connect Coach, what we do is we have a team of expert, experienced coaches, and we match them up with individuals and businesses that are looking to make some big transformations in their life. Today, we're joined by Susan Brady. Susan is one of our coaches. She's actually a really, really cool coach. I like her a lot. So welcome, Susan.
Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. So tell us kind of what coaching you actually do. What type of coaching do you actually do?
I would consider myself a business coach, a sales coach. I help women generate money in their businesses and work towards a profitable business. So definitely a business coach more than a life coach.
Oh, and I like that. It's interesting. I think that there are so many businesses out there that really could benefit from having a coach in them, and the fact that you specialize in sales as well, I think is really it's very different and just so necessary, because I know there's so many people that kind of shy away from the sales. So tell us, what actually you tell us how you actually became a coach, and what's your coaching story?
Yeah. Well, I actually started my journey as an entrepreneur in direct sales and led a team of women, a group of almost 200 women in 3 different countries. And I created a 6-figure business in that industry within about 18 months. And the funny thing was, people kept saying, how did you do that? And I thought, well, doesn't everybody do that? I mean, I had resigned from an $80,000 job about 19 years ago to start that business. So I had to be very serious about making money in that business. But what I found was that so many women were not making money in their business. They weren't focusing on the right activities. They were giving up. And then I moved on to another dream of mine, which was to share the stage with Bob Proctor. And after doing that for a while, working with him in one of his companies, I decided to go out and start my own company that was focused on working with women entrepreneurs, because so many women that I met, Elizabeth, were struggling in their business. And I even, using the term business, I'm using that very lightly, because they really did not have a business. They had a hobby. So it's my mission to help women that are serious about having their own business, create a profitable business, and generate revenue. And one of the reasons that they're not generating revenue in their businesses is because they're not asking for the sale. They're like, oh, Susan, I don't want to be pushy. And you know what? Business is about making money. It's about loving the product or service that you have to offer, but going out there and asking for the sale and finding those ideal clients.
So it is really interesting. You talk about that differentiator between a hobby and a business, and I've come across a lot of people in my career that have really they've just got a hobby. They
Absolutely.
Don't have a business, and I try and say to them, you've actually got to take it seriously. You've actually got to make this transformation and take it away from not pushing it, and to actually make it, as you say, a proper business.
Yeah. And there's too many people out there that just expect results to show up. They expect money to show up in their bank account. But, building a business is tough, Elizabeth. You and I both know that. It is not easy. In fact, I always say to people, having a job is a lot easier than building a business. And unfortunately, a lot of people are just not cut out for it. But if you have the right guidance, if you listen to somebody who's been there and already embarked upon that journey and is successful and is creating results, that's the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with.
I like that idea, and it's interesting about you doing some work with Bob Proctor, because I know that he's a real guru in the world of sales as well, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah.
And he helps people, so that's a great thing for you as well. And so I know we've talked a little bit about, business owners and entrepreneurs, but that's very generalistic. I'd really like to kind of bring it down a little bit. And so who would actually benefit from working with you, and, and why?
Okay. Somebody who has maybe started their business a couple years ago, maybe left the job, or is working a full-time job but trying to build a business on the side, and they actually know what they want to do. They know the type of business. So they're past that idea stage, and they're working in their business. Actually, they're probably working a little bit too much in their business, trying to get everything perfect, Elizabeth. And that's one of the where I kind of come in and take them out of that and help them focus on who their ideal client is, what kind of products and services that we can provide, but really helping people map out how they're going to make money in their business, and identifying who that target market is. So someone who has a business may be struggling to make money, or they're not hitting the goals, if they actually have goals. A lot of people in business, I find, are not specific enough when it comes to their goals. So if you're struggling to hit that six-figure mark, if you're struggling to get clients, then that's kind of probably one of the ideal people that I work with. I really help them focus on where the money is in their business and how to get out there and get that money.
I just love what you do. I think it's so necessary. Susan, could you share one of your coaching stories with us? The results that one of your clients has actually got from you.
Oh, there's so many. A couple recent ones that I love to celebrate. I was just working on a PowerPoint presentation, so this was kind of fresh in my mind. I had a woman that I was working with from Iceland, and her and I started working together just about a year ago now. And when she started, she was making about $1,000 or $2,000 a month. And her goal was to hit $60,000, by the end of the year. So that was her goal, to create a $60,000 business in the first year that we worked together. What's really interesting, she hit the six-figure mark 9 months into us working together. So that was really, really exciting. Another one probably would be, and this is a really interesting teaching point. This woman is out of Nevada, and when her and I started working together again, she was looking to create a six-figure business. And again, she was making $2,000-$3,000 a month. So we restructured her programs and services that she offered, because she was kind of all over the place. And what's interesting, Elizabeth, is when you're building a business, when you're putting yourself out there, things don't always manifest as fast as we want them to. I always say there is no magic bullet. There is no easy button when it comes to building a business. It takes consistent effort, and you have to build that momentum, but stick with it to see the results. So she was working her business, and then had a $29,000 a month. And it just rung really true to her that, you have to stick with it. You may not see results as fast as you want to, maybe not in month 1 or month 2. And I mean, I've experienced that personally building my business. But for her, she's just been a walking testimonial when she's working with her clients now. Don't expect to see immediate results, but stick with it. Go the course. So she had a $29,000, almost $30,000 a month, which was 10 times more than what she'd ever made in a month before. So that's pretty exciting.
Wow, that's incredible. I can't imagine, she must have been so happy working with you. to just that was way more than she was expecting.
I know.
I think that's just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And Susan, I can tell that you're really passionate when you talk about these clients that you work with, and I can see that you're really invested in the results that they actually get. But actually, tell me, what gives you the greatest joy when you're actually coaching a client?
Seeing them win, seeing the ahas that they get, when here's something that they didn't know how they were ever going to build that business. They were ready to give up when they met me. And we kind of went back to the foundational piece of their business, which again, Elizabeth, is what so many women are missing. I always say they're trying to shingle the roof before they've ever got the foundation built. They got a fancy website, they got all these nice brochures and business cards, and yet they don't have a clear understanding of what their business actually is, the services they provide. They have no idea where the leads are going to come from. So when I can take them back to the beginning and start to build that foundation, and then you see them get so much pride, when they start to see clients coming in, when they're doing their first speaking engagement, and when they're getting leads and they're getting sales conversations, and when they start to understand what their conversion rates are. And a lot of our listeners might not know what that is, but it's asking for the sale. How many people do you have to ask in order for one person to say yes? So when they start to have a 5-figure month, or hit that 6-figure year, or accomplish something big and reward themselves, like taking their family on a vacation, or doing something special for one of their kids, whatever that dream was, whatever that why is for them, when I can see them doing exactly what they set out to do, oh my gosh. And my clients are like my family. I always say we don't just have a coach to client relationship, we do life together.
I like that. And I can tell that you really, you actually have a real care for the clients that you work with. And I like the fact that you call them family as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've talked about how the positive results that you've got and that you've had, and how you feel about it. But let's talk about the other side. I mean, let's talk about it from a client's point of view. I mean, what are some of the biggest obstacles that women might come across when growing a business?
Oh, one of the biggest that I see, and maybe this isn't the right forum, but I'm going to just put it out there. I just kind of tell it like it is, Elizabeth. I really do. There's a lot of different certification programs out there now. And I find a lot of clients that I work with personally right now, I can think of 3 right off the bat that I'm working with right now. 3 of these women have gone through certification programs. And not years, but they've paid a hefty price to go through a certification program to call themselves a coach. So they're in a service-based industry, but they're not making any money. And so what I found is, again, they have no foundation to build their business. All right. They think they're going to hang that shingle out there and people are just going to appear. We've all heard that saying before, build it and they will come. A lot of people are hanging a shingle out there waiting for people to show up. And in business, it doesn't happen. You have to put yourself out there. You have to go out there and find, where your target market is hanging out. You have to get out of the house. Again, there's so many of these get rich quick schemes where, go online and you can make $10,000 in a month. Well, that's fine if you have a list of 50,000 people, but most people don't even know what a list is. So it's taking people back to the basics and understanding that you will never build a business without someone guiding you every step of the way. I always say, you're in business for yourself, but you can't do it alone. And and I'm speaking from experience, Elizabeth. I had already created a 6-figure business, but when I started my coaching business, that was something new to me. I thought, I'm really good at what I do. I'm great at mentoring women. I have helped women make money. But when it came to starting a business from the ground up, I struggled. And I was one of those that went after the bright, shiny objects. I had the fancy website, the fancy logos, all those neat things, but I wasn't making any money in my business until I met a coach, an amazing business coach who changed my life and changed my business. Okay, she was straight up with me and told me that I really did not have a business because my model was all wrong. And she was confident enough to tell me what I needed to do, and I listened. So that to me was important. I turned my business around. I had to get really clear on the problems that my target market was facing, and I had to be able to solve those problems. So a lot of women just don't understand the problem or the pain that they solve for their clients, and how to take that pain and turn it into a message and get out there and find where those people are and identify how you can help them.
And it's so interesting listening to you talk, Susan, because it's very true. There's, to have a business on your own is one thing, but to have somebody that's got your back, that can really, you can bounce stuff off, that supports you, that, works with you to your goals, is the most powerful thing that anybody could ever do. And I'd say to anybody wanting to grow a business, or actually, not even just grow a business, but just get ahead in life. If that's what they want to do, is to get out there and get a coach, because having that person by your side, smart, that's what smart people do. I mean, think about the Olympics, even, they have, I don't know how many coaches. They certainly, nobody would ever get a gold medal without having one, coach, and that's the way it is. So smart people have coaches. And I really like that. So tell me, what do you think is really stopping business women these days in getting ahead?
Oh my gosh. Number one thing is money. And when I say money, it's not that they don't have it. It's that they don't set a goal around money, Elizabeth. Women just do not like talking about money. I've done a lot of conversations, hundreds and thousands of conversations with women, especially in the last year. I launched a new program. I was doing hundreds of conversations with business owners. And I very specifically had a questionnaire where I asked what their goals were. And then I would talk to them about that, over the phone. And it is so interesting. Nobody had a financial goal. Nobody had a number that they were focusing on to hit. Now, you're a business person. You're a businesswoman. If you're in business, it has to be about money. You will never hit a target you don't set. But they don't want to talk about money. They want to make a difference. They want to grow their business. They want to make a difference in the lives of others. In order to do that, Elizabeth, you and I both know it takes money. The more money you make in your business, the bigger the difference you can make. So women have to start to learn to focus on money and be comfortable talking about money.
It's interesting you talk about that, because what I see is that it's a subject that men can kind of talk about quite easily, and they're much more comfortable. But women, and I've seen exactly the same thing as you, Susan. It's like, and people just don't ask for it. It's like, well, why wouldn't you? And the other thing I really believe about in the coaching world is that you have to invest. You have to invest in yourself, grow that business. And I think that men tend to do that more than women. Women are a little bit, and I guess it goes back to what you're saying about women being a little hesitant and uncertain around money.
Yeah.
And that's a real change. That's a real challenge.
Or they will say, well, once I make the money, I will invest. You will never make the money. That's the thing. You need to learn from somebody. You have to invest. I always say, make a decision based on where you want to go, not where you are right now. So when you invest in yourself and you invest with someone who has been there, who has done that, who has a track record and can help you, you're going to make the money back, and then you'll make it back tenfold.
I like that. That. So what would you like to see change for women business owners?
I would love to see women just take their businesses a little more seriously. Because when they do that, Elizabeth, they are creating stability. They're becoming much more financially independent. And I love to see financially independent women that don't have to depend on a man. And in order to do that, they have to get crystal clear on how much money they need to make, and have that plan in place and know who their ideal client is and who their target market is, and be willing to treat their business like they would a 9-to-5 job. See, everybody in business, especially women that are transitioning from jobs into business, they want the freedom, they want the flexibility, they want the financial security. That comes with a huge price tag. So I want women to understand that, yes, you can be successful in business, but it's hard work. There is no such thing as easy when it comes to building a business, but stick with it. Don't be one of those women that give up when they're just that 3 feet from gold. Keep going, but have someone there to guide you along the way who's already created a successful business, and learn from that person. Learn by the mistakes that they've already made, which is going to shorten your learning curve. So don't try to do it alone, but never give up on that goal. Never give up on your dream, because it was put in your heart for a reason.
Oh God, I love what you say. It's so true. It's so true. And I know that many women that, absolutely do want to make a difference.
They do.
And that's really important. And that's a fundamental factor of women. And yet, it's like, hey ladies, and you got to do a business at the same time. This is not a hobby. So come on. So
you have to have those working hours, just like you would at a job. You have to have working hours.
Exactly. So tell me how you actually work with women entrepreneurs.
I have a couple of different programs, Elizabeth, but one of the things that we do right from the beginning is get really clear on what it is that they want, okay? What it is that they want to create. How much money do they need to make? And then identifying who their ideal market is, who their ideal client is, and who their target market is. See, we would say, oh, I'll work with anybody. No, you can't do that. You have to have a specific niche market. You have to know exactly who your ideal target market is, and you have to know what their biggest problem is. And then you look at your unique talents and gifts and what you have to offer, and we work together to develop programs or services that help you shine your light and help you with your uniqueness, bring your gifts to the world. And we create a plan, we create a yearly plan, and then we break that down into a quarterly plan. We attach numbers to that, and I also help them create a daily plan of what they need to do, like what their next steps are. Most women wake up in the morning and they go to their computer, they have no idea what they're going to focus on that day, and they spend half a day hanging out on Facebook. They think that social media is going to build their business. Not the way it works. I give them specific activities that they need to focus on. How many of those activities? Help them even create what I call a signature talk, because one of the best ways to get out there and meet people is to talk about your topic. So helping women get out there, stepping out of their comfort zone, getting out into the world so they can share that message, and then how to get a steady stream of prospects that they can talk to, because you have to be sharing your gifts, but like we said at the beginning of the call, you need to ask for the sale. So we have tracking, we have accountability. We do life together. I help them step by step. And I'm not one of those fluff coaches. I tell it the way it is, Elizabeth, because I want these women to be successful. I will push them and challenge them, make them step out of that comfort zone, which I know they don't want to do, but I help them do whatever it takes to get them to generate the revenue necessary so they can create that profitable business and go out there and make a difference in the world.
Oh, that's it. And just listening to what you say, Susan, it inspires me. It inspires me for all the businesses out there that really need your help. And I'm even thinking, oh yeah, I could do that. I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
I think, and we all need a coach. I mean, and that's the thing. And it's like, okay, so where is the key thing in your life that you need coaching on? And often when you're building a business, it's got to be sales. It's absolutely got to be sales. You've got to know, you've got to go out there, and that's how you create the business. Everything is about selling.
That's right. If you're not making money, you don't have a business.
Oh, that's so true. That is so true. So, Susan, we've talked a lot about how you work with clients and how clients can benefit from you. And I think people have got a really good picture about, how, who you are and what you do. I'd kind of just like to shift focus a little bit onto you as Susan, not the coach, but Susan, Susan, tell me a little bit, what do you do to balance your life?
Well, I am a grandmother, believe it or not, Elizabeth. I have 5 beautiful grandchildren. They range in age from 2 to almost 12. And I spend a lot of time with my grandchildren. In fact, my goal in life is to create beautiful memories for them. So they are very blessed because grandma does very special things with them. From, hooking them up. I took 2 of my grandchildren to Cuba last year on vacation. My 2 oldest had the opportunity. They both love to ride scooters. They're both very, very good. And they had an opportunity to spend 5 days with one of the best in the world from Australia. So that's just kind of the thing that I love to do. I love spending time with them. And when I'm not with my grandkids, when the weather is beautiful, you will find me on the golf course. See, I'm an avid golfer. I love to golf. I'm actually pretty good. I'm not a hacker. I'm pretty good. And what I love about it is I'm always in competition with myself. So I'm always striving to be the best that I can be. And even something as simple as golf, Elizabeth, I take lessons, I get a coach. Because I always want to improve. I will never get any better working on it by myself. I know that I need someone to help me with my swing, to help me with my stance, So again, I have a golf coach, and so you'll find me on the golf course, on the beach. I live in a tiny little fishing village on the North Shore of Lake Erie. We have one of the world's most beautiful beaches here. So you'll find me on the beach or puttering in my garden, on the golf course, and always with my grandkids around someplace.
I love that. I love that. That's so sweet. 5 grandchildren. Wow.
5 of them.
Girl, you don't look old enough for that. So tell me, you mentioned goals around, being the best grandmother and being a good golfer, but tell me more about your goals. I mean, what are your goals and ambitions?
My business goal, my goal for my life, of course, is to make a difference. My ultimate goal is to impact 1,000, or not 1,000, but impact 1 million women, Elizabeth. I want my message to reach 1 million women. Because I always say that I'm here to give women hope. When I started as an entrepreneur, I was a shy, introverted person. I live in a tiny fishing village. How could I ever create a 6-figure business? So I always say I'm here to give women hope. If I can do this, you can do this too. So I want women to remember that you're never too old to have a dream, because most women stop dreaming when they're 8 years old. And it's really sad when I come across a woman, I say, when's the last time you had a dream? Well, I don't really have a dream. I want women to dream. I want them to dream big. And I want to be able to inspire those women to go after whatever it is they want and not let anybody hold them back.
I love that. And really, being a beacon, being a shining, confident beacon for women, I think is just what is really needed in the world.
Yeah.
So we mentioned Bob Proctor earlier, but I, aside from him, because I'm sure that he's definitely in there, but aside from Bob, who do you admire?
There are so many incredible business people that I admire. I'm not going to go after the TV personalities, but when I see a successful businesswoman with a 7-figure business, Elizabeth, I know what it took for me to create a 6-figure business and a multiple 6-figure business. When I look at a woman who has created a 7-figure business from an idea, that inspires me. Because I know how much work that takes, and I can see those women, and I can see the difference that they're making in the world right now by empowering others. So that's a woman who really empowers me, inspires me.
I like that. That's a great answer. So tell me, there's a lot of things that are kind of going on in the world today, both in businesses and socially and all over the world. If there was one thing that you could change, what would that be?
For women not to give up, for women to have a goal to be financially independent and be willing to go after that. Don't depend on the system. Don't depend on a man. You have a gift. There's something that you're probably passionate about. And it's not that you can build a business around your passion, but you can get passionate about making money in your business and making a difference.
That's very true. That's very true. Susan, you and I really like you, and I can carry on talking for a long time. I really enjoy this. But we're going to cut it out now.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your wisdom. And I really see that there's so many people that could really benefit from working with you. And hey, women, get a voice, grow your business,
Yes.
step up and make that difference in the world and be profitable.
Absolutely. You can't do one without the other.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Susan, thank you so much for joining me today. And I really look forward to connecting you with lots of clients. And anybody out there, if you're thinking of reaching out to Susan, I'd highly recommend it. And we'll have the details in the link.
Awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. This has been wonderful.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.